Just
Oh
quick
my-
Google Stadia drama because it was actually hilarious.
It was funny.
So with all the Twitch DMCA, which we talked about the other day, they're stealing everyone's content, making everyone delete all of their stuff.
You actually muted me on stream, you little son of a.
I did? What? No one can hear you now?
I'm just kidding. No, but still.
One of the guys at Google Stadia was like, actually, I agree with this, and honestly, all of these game studios should be doing the exact same thing. If you guys want to stream their games, you should be paying them for licenses. And literally everyone said, "What the hell, you dumb boomer?
Are you an idiot?
Are you an idiot?" There is so much free advertising. Literally, the only reason some games exist and thrive is because some people streamed it. Case in point, Among Us.
Among Us.
Among Us had one player.
Before we get into this argument, it should be stated that this guy had in his bio creative lead,
director or whatever.
Creative director at Google Stadia. In his bio, that's what he put. He tweets this tweet out saying, actually, streamers and content creators should have to pay a license in order to play games. His take is so bad, single-handedly, via him being roasted, Google Stadia, the words Google and Stadia start trending worldwide on Twitter. So this is where it gets even funnier, dude. This guy,
Google gets him on the horn.
This guy turns out he's not the creative director of Google Stadia. He is a creative director at Google Stadia. Basically,
at a studio owned by Google Stadia.
Exactly. He's a creative director of some no-name studio I've never heard of this studio, and Google Stadia bought him. So think about this dude is such a moron. To look good, he tries to suss out a little bit. He's like, yeah, creative director at Google Stadia. Like, ooh, I'm so important. And then he has such a bad, and then Google Stadia is trending. Google Stadia has to say, like, we don't agree with this. And they must have called him up or DM'd him and said, take it out of your bio, you absolute
They're like,
moron.
We do not want our name attached to you right now. Yeah. And even like game developers were like, this is a terrible take. It was what it essentially was a guy saying, man, I hate that I work hard at video games and streamers are getting rich. That's exactly what it is. And whether he's right or not, right or wrong, I mean, that's a personal opinion. But his take stemmed from the fact that he sees creators making buku bucks because they build a community, they build a following, they're charismatic. And yes, the place where they do that is playing a video game. Sure. But it is a terrible take. It just stems out of jealousy. And it doesn't make sense. And like you said, like so many games, they absolutely love creators because they influence a lot of people. And so, I mean, that generates sales, that generates interest, that generates long-time viewership and playership on their stuff.
I mean, it's important to note also, like, okay, so the reason he made this point is that technically there's like, there's a when you sign the license agreement to play a game, when you sign the user agreement, there's technically, you can't duplicate that product. You can't necessarily like use it for profit, aka like burn the disc and sell it. And this, like, in the past, there was a question of like, can this be enforced on streamers? And it used to actually be enforced via Nintendo. If you made any sort of Nintendo content on YouTube, they would just take it down, and you had to then sign up to like to be a Nintendo like affiliate, and then you could actually share in that revenue. They would take like 20% or whatever. So Nintendo is actually super archaic with that. But more recently, because streaming is so big, there's like a clause that usually it actually says, like, I think for like Destiny, for example, you'll be exempt from that clause if you're streaming or creating content on it. Because like you said, you would have to be like, this guy is such a smooth brain to not see that. Like, it basically only does good. It's just more eyes on your product. Like, if there's streamers playing and enjoying your product, like you said, Among Us blew up because of streamers.
It's so good for the industry. Having big influencers out there being entertaining with your game is huge for the gaming industry. Everybody wins. This is a terrible take. Hey, by the way, what was his Twitter banner?
That Can I explain this one?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's why I asked you.
So this guy comes out with this take, gets Google Stadia embarrassed, and it just gets roasted. Jacksepticeye, a huge content creator, like multiple, I don't even know what he's at, like 12 million subscribers, probably more, 20 million, something insane. He notices that this Google Stadia guy has a banner that's actually a fan art that someone made of Jacksepticeye playing one of the games that he had created. And best part, he cropped out the creator's little name tag. So he stole Jacksepticeye's fan art, cropped out the name, so there's no gives what's the word? He gives no acknowledgement of this other creator, and just puts it as his banner. And Jacksepticeye called him out on that. It's like, oh, it's pretty ironic that you're stealing from content creators and you're accusing us of stealing.
Right.
So it's like, how is that moron not really? If Jacksepticeye was playing one of his games, I guarantee, and that's obviously why he took that banner. He's probably like super happy at the time.
Yeah.
And
what an idiot.
Mike,
and the
Mike,
other thing
you want to
too
say
is,
something?
Well, you know, it's kind of like with the DMCA and the music. It's like his thing is like archaic, but no one is going and like, here's the background music. There's like a Jay-Z song playing, and they're like, I'm going to watch this streamer so I can hear them talk over that song, right? More often than not, they're like,
Right.
they're like, damn, okay, I hear
Clip it, download it.
right? I hear a beat in the background. What is this? They're asking about it. They're getting that interest in the song, which they might not have ever heard. If I open up my Spotify and I start playing some beats, the amount of times when people go, damn, what is this song? What is this song? Song, exclamation point music, exclamation point song. Constant. It's actually constant. And you know, we're putting that in front of people that they might not ever hear that song otherwise. Same thing with a game. There's games out there that you got to experience for yourself. And even with Among Us, it's like, yeah, you can watch people play Among Us, but that's not going to be the same as getting some of your friends together. And that's one of the reasons why it went so viral. It's one of these games that, you know, the people playing it make the content. There's little mini games and stuff, but it's you and your friends. It's you trying to trick your buddy. And, you know, there's so many games out there that even the way I'm playing it, it's going to be completely different than if you tried it yourself. Terraria. You know, games like Minecraft. My world is not your world. My experience is not your experience. And getting that in front of people, I think, is valuable, and it piques interest. One of the big ones for me was Slay the Spire. I think the game was already out for like a month or so, and I had never heard of it before, and I saw it, I played it. Another big one, Dark Souls. So do you know Lobos, like Lobos Jr.? He's done lots of speedruns and stuff. I didn't know what it was, and I watched him play it, and I was like, okay, this game is sick. Like right when Twitch and YouTube were like just starting, like I didn't even have a channel yet. I was watching him play Dark Souls, and I'm like, dang, this game looks wild. And the only reason I played that game is because I watched someone else playing it.
That's right.
Another quick thing, like to that point, it's not just that you're watching a streamer and they're enjoying themselves, and then you want to play that yourself. That's a huge part of it. But another thing is like the guide wise, like in the past, statistically, if you got confused or stuck at a part, and what would you do? You'd have to like go to GameStop or go somewhere and like
go to
buy
Walmart
a guide.
and go into the
Like,
guide section.
like what were you supposed to do? A lot of the times you just quit playing that game. And that's not good. You get frustrated or stuck at a part, you quit playing the game. And nowadays, because games are like live services, like, you know, that's a really, really, really bad thing. And now it's like, oh, you get stuck at a part, you don't know how to get something. Look it up on YouTube. There's a content creator, you know, myself or whoever else that's there with a guide to let you get that, to help you with that part. And that's another huge part of it because that improves your experience. Or like they'll watch a video on, hey, this is a really good hand cannon, or this is something you should do to improve your game. Then they go back and they use a different loadout, or they try a different tactic, and then they're better at the game. And again, maybe they would have quit before, but now they perform a little bit better, and then they really kind of get, you know, addicted to it. Yeah. And it's like, and sometimes I guess games get like crapped on from creators and die, not necessarily even because of it. It just doesn't help. I swear though, like even then, people want to try these bad games just to try them because the creator is talking about how bad they are. like it kind of piques an interest, whereas
Still
normally they would never buy
publicity.
it.
Like, could it be
so-
that bad? Is Fallout 76 that bad? And then you
Dude,
download it and you're
Then they
like, whoa,
play it.
whoa.
It is.
Like,
oh.
honestly, yeah, that is a great example. I swear, so many people tried Fallout 76 just because they were like so
Because
curious.
it was a
Like,
meme.
I couldn't
Yeah.
believe it. I was like, there's no way it's that bad. And then I play it. I'm like, oh, it's like 2 FPS. Like, oh, it's worse than
yeah.
Halo Infinite at this point. Like,
Yeah,
And
exactly, dude.
I get it all the time because a lot of times what I do with my content is I'm trying to create innovative builds, fun combinations to make the game a little bit more interesting. I get it all the time where people are like, I haven't played Destiny in weeks, but seeing you play this build that's just so silly, I'm gonna do it. I got that today. I saw a friend of mine, Slick, posted a clip on Twitter of him just doing something really silly with a really silly build this morning. And when I saw that, I was like, you know what, heck, I'm gonna try that on stream. So I took his build, I pulled it into my stream, and it really is just a really silly combination of things. It's not, there's no gun skill involved. It's just really whimsical, but we got a lot of really funny clips. And I had multiple people in chat who were like, that's so funny, man. I'm going to try that. Man, I haven't played Destiny in 2 weeks, but you know what? I'm going to pull that stuff out of the vault. I'm going to try that.
Did it involve Jotun?
Nope.
the king of
First time for everything, I guess.